What is going on? It's been a while. This is Chris from the Dating Doc. If you're looking for the best dating news, commentary, and advice that's presented in a more mature way, that's not divisive, it's not anti-men, it's not anti-woman, it's not only for men or for women, click like and subscribe. So today is April 4th. It is Easter Eve. It is the day before the resurrection. Okay. Now, this is controversial, right? I shouldn't be talking about religion too much, but I take full pride in being a Christian. I am not a perfect man at all, but I do like to tell of resurrection. So with that, what we're going to do today, it's not a sermon. It's all about humility when it comes to men. And this is not for women. This is not you have to be humble for women or you have to be humble for dating. We want to make sure that you're humble first for you. Okay. Now, it has been a minute since I've done these type of dating advice videos. For those that tune in on YouTube, you probably see a lot more dating event promotions from my awesome content creator team. And it's been a while since you've seen these dating commentary or advice videos. So humility in men. Okay. Why do I want to talk about this? I want to talk about this for a couple of reasons. We're starting to see a shift in men's dating advice or relationship dynamics. You saw where a couple years ago, right, 2017, 2018, you would see the advent of the red pill and the blue pill and the black pill, MGTOW, all kinds of things, right? You saw the podcast popping up, right, including Fresh and Fit. You saw the popularity rise of Mr. Andrew Tate, right? And at that time, frankly, it's something I did not want to compete with. I knew that the dating dynamics were really, really changing at that time. I could tell that people did not want to listen to what they considered weak things going on, right? And I'll tell you right now, there's things that I agree when it comes to the blue pill. There's things I agree when it comes to what we call the red pill. But at the same time, what I also noticed is that some people were not coachable. Some people were riddled with pride. Some people live their life feeling like they know it all and there ain't nothing that nobody else can tell them, right? And the only thing I'm going to say is that's somewhat religious in his aspect is that Jesus himself said that he was meek. Okay, meek. Now, you probably have heard the Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. That ties into what I'm about to say about meekness. When a couple years ago, I was on a panel, a Manosphere panel. Okay, shout out to Offie Kingdom, and Myron Gaines, real name Amru Fadul, which, as you would know from the Fresh and Fit podcast, and now he's becoming more of a political pundit and less of a host of OnlyFans woman on his podcast. Me and him got into it, right? The reason being in at that time is he was very much, and still to this day, very, very prideful. He's a smart gentleman. He does his research. I know that his team provides him that information that he needs. But then I've also seen a little bit of that downfall, and I use him as an example because someone that I personally knew, someone that I got into a little bit. And I've seen that downfall based on pride, right? And Jesus himself said that, hey, he is meek. Meek means, not to be confused with Meek Mill, meek means that you are full of power, but that you know how to control it. Okay, I'll say again, you have a lot of great power. That could be money. That could be your physical strength. That could be your emotional restraint. That could be your discipline, right? Instead of flaunting your financial success, instead of using your strength to bully others or intimidate men or women or children, you protect others. With that money, you save it because you're not hung up on your ego. You're not out there trying to impress people, right? You're maxing out your IRA, you're maxing out your investments, you're buying a second property, third property, etc. That is meek. From what I've seen is that a lot of men right now are still stuck in the material zone. Okay, they're stuck in the surface zone. They're too stuck on, hey, look, I gotta get this Bugatti. and then hopefully I'll attract more women. I gotta work out, and hopefully I'll attract more women. I've got to show that I've got all this money and all this success. I got to get on LinkedIn and announce that new position. I got to show that photo that I shook hands with the mayor. That's easy. That is very, very easy. Now, you know what's hard is having that restraint and saying, you know what? Regardless of if a woman gives me no attention, I'm going to remain disciplined. I'm going to remain restrained. I don't have to spend all this money on things to show the external world that I have some sort of value. Because again, what does that say to you? That pride hides your real strength. The truth. That pride hides your real strength. And it is hard. Trust me, it is hard. Okay, I do really well for myself, but the only people that would know is my realtor, my bookkeeper / accountant, and a woman who ends up being close to me because we might be looking at getting a house together. That's it. That is it. They'll see my tax returns and they'll know how much money I'm making. But I just came back from a restaurant and, it's one of those things where I saw it. I sat by myself, really happy, just having my dinner. And I saw that as I look around, certain women were trying to get my attention, right? And again, I'm in very much casual clothes. I practiced restraint while I listened to a video on this very topic. It was on how to be meek, how to be a real man. Okay, it actually was how to be a godly man. And I have no shame in spreading that message today on the day before Easter. I actually feel it's maybe meant for me to watch that video so then I could then push the message on here. Okay, and it don't matter. You can be atheist, you can be agnostic, you can be Christian, you can be Buddhist. There's strength in being meek. There's strength in being humble. If your goal is to get laid, if your goal is to get married, if your goal is just to attract more women, period, practice humbling your own pride. That takes more strength than saying, you know what, I gotta show off because I don't feel like I'm enough. I've got to do this because I just haven't dealt with those demons yet. I'm telling you right now, real strength, real resurrection happens when you can tell yourself, look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm worth a lot more than what I have to show the world. But it starts with you. Conquer yourself first, and then everything you want from dating or possible marriage, or if you don't even care about dating, but you just want to find more joy in your life, right? You don't have to distract yourself only with video games or only with those kind of movies, if you know what I mean. When you humble yourself and you find real strength, it is the best gift in the world. Best gift in the world. Okay. This advice goes out to women as well, but this one is a shout out to men, because men, you're supposed to be leaders. Men, you're supposed to make sure you can rule over yourself, okay, in a very humble, kind way. Be kind to yourself before you ask to have a woman in your life. If you can't handle yourself, there's no reason you can handle the kind of woman you want in the end. So I hope you like that. Again, I know it's different. I know it's completely different. At this point, this is an example of meek, and then I'll wrap it up. At this point, I don't care how many views I get or don't get. I don't. If at least one person fully watched this video, I'm happy. I truly am. Because at the end of it, when I'm 6 feet under, I am not going to care about the views. When I'm on my deathbed, okay, I do not care about the views. Okay, in the end, I just hope that this message gets spread to those that need it. We're going to do more different advice commentary video. Please like and subscribe this. That way, play around with the algorithms. That way we know that this is more what you want. Okay, so this is Chris from the Dating Doc. Have a happy Easter, and I'm signing off. Take care.